What is up, everybody? It is us, the Reyna brothers.
Hi, long time no see. Well, we are happy to finally get a chance to be back on camera to get to kind of give you guys an update about everything, our lives, where we're at, where the bazaar is at. And again, like I've said before, we always have the most intentions to give you guys updates and info, but last year was quite a
fustercluck.
Yes, it was a fustercluck. First of all, we're fine. We're fine now. We're good. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But I went ahead and made a list on my phone of everything that's happened since the last time that we uploaded around there. So first off, we moved to the middle of nowhere for our job at the time. We were working in television. I was head of a television show. Maddie was head editor, and we were creating a television show that will remain nameless. But we moved to Woodland Park, Colorado, which is beautiful, but it is the middle of nowhere.
So getting supplies for our show and our other projects was a lot harder because there's not really a whole lot up in that area.
Our apartment was expensive because it was the only place to live, but we had to do it for our job, which I will get to in a minute, but we had to do it for our job to move there because the job moved up further than that. So if we had stayed where we were in Colorado Springs, it would have been like an hour something drive every single day. We did that in Texas. We didn't want to do that again. So we moved to where it was only a 30-minute drive, but then it also had its own issues and problems with dirt roads and wear and tear on our car that we had to get a new car. Just
plus the weather too.
In the weather.
High up there.
So that was the first thing off. Our jobs became worse and worse and worse. As I said, when we first started our jobs, the whole reason we came out to Colorado, we got these jobs that were offered to us from Texas, and we moved to Colorado, which we always wanted to live in Colorado. And it was pretty great at first. It was pretty great. And then right after the move, things got really bad. Yeah. The treatment of us, especially the way we were treated, was really bad.
Yeah, very unacceptable and unprofessional, and I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into too much details. We're ready to move on. The people who are there, wish them the best. Hope they can turn things around, but just not with us. But we couldn't leave there till our lease was up because that was the way we could pay for our expensive apartment. And so finally, we were able to quit at the beginning of last year. So next we quit our jobs and we moved back down to Colorado Springs, and we moved in with our parents for the time being. And that move was terrible. That was a terrible move. And we're not very negative people at all, but we're just going to be honest. Like this whole, again, we said last year.
It was grueling.
It was a grueling process.
Moving all the way back down from mountain to,
it was expensive as well. Cost a lot of money. Then because of that, because of money and funds and stuff like that, we lost the ability to edit the whole documentary from our laptops because the laptops that we had now were too old to open the project. So our project was made on a newer computer, and now we had our older MacBook computers, and they literally could not open the project. So the next step of if we want to continue to making the next episode of The Bazaar, we got to get a new computer. But we just spent a lot of money on moving and our expensive apartment and getting out of the lease. And it was a whole thing. So we moved back down here. We did start an LLC as our own client work as Reyna Bros Media, where we did client work for music videos and commercials and business stories and all sorts of different things. But obviously on the side, because that's a startup, and we didn't want to take necessarily a full-time job again to lose time working on our film stuff. Then we started doing Uber deliveries, Uber Eats and stuff, which again, no shame in doing that. You got to do what you got to do. And that's what we had to do at that time. But then we took on more client work, and then we moved again out of with our parents' apartment, which was a very small townhouse, to a actual house where we're currently at as well. And that moving experience was even worse. It just was we had so much stuff. Me and Matt did a bulk of it, and it was a lot. We did continue to do Uber and client work until we could try and afford our new computer, was the goal. But then in the midst of that, our channel got demonetized. The Bazaar channel got completely demonetized.
I don't know if you remember, there was sort of almost a second adpocalypse of sorts that happened where a lot of the algorithm on YouTube was starting to demonetize people's channels unfairly. And so we were one of those channels that got a hit in that wave of them.
Yeah, we didn't post anything about it, but it took a while to fight it. We had to fight it. We had to make a video. We had to show proof that we were not taking, because their main thing was, I guess they looked at our footage and thought that we were taking from movies. Then we needed more money because the Uber was doing okay. But
when the colder weather comes, it's harder to drive.
Yes, the snow is bad. So we got invited to create a small clothing company that was all custom clothing to sell at our local vintage store called Moth Bros Goth Clothes.
Right.
Which takes a lot of time. But again, we needed the money because we still didn't have the computer, and it's almost been a year at this point, and we hadn't been able to touch the
grave robbing for more.
Yeah, the grave robbing, because we can't even open the file. After that, we were finally towards the end of last year, finally able to buy a new computer to get our up and working on our documentary again. And then while delivering Uber, I was in a horrible car accident where I genuinely almost died. Like, horrible. I'll put a picture up right here. Yep, that's my car, completely totaled. Terrifying experience. That took a while. Thankfully, I was pretty okay, but not mentally, because it was very scary, very terrifying. And so again, genuinely, the officers, the people involved were like, you should be dead right now. Yeah, you should be dead. I could have either been dead from the hit, or if I had turned a different way, I would have hit these electrical boxes and they would have electrocuted me to death or exploded. So that was another big wrench, another, how did you say, fuster cluck? Yeah,
that situation.
So, and then lost that car, and that was a whole thing. But the scam where the car was, we were scammed out of that cost so much money from this, not dealership, from this tow yard. We got scammed out of money. So then we now had to pivot again because we can't do Uber now because my car got totaled. So what do? So we learned about Whatnot from a friend, the website app, I don't know, called Whatnot, where you resell clothes, live streams. So we started doing that, and we've actually been doing really good.
Yeah, and it was already in our wheelhouse because we'd already been doing stuff with clothes, with the Moth Bros Goth Clothes.
Yes.
So, we know what to source for, what to look for, and so that was kind of an untapped market at the time. And it's still been going very good to this.
Yeah, that's actually why we built this set, which I'll get to as well, to do our Whatnot shows on. Then at the very beginning of January, we're like, all right, new year, we're going to start. We got the most horrific cold flu. I don't know what it could have been, COVID. Right. I don't know. It was the most sick I have been in so long. Like, it was so bad. Like, I mean, I hadn't thrown up since I was 8 years old. And I threw up multiple times. That's how bad it was. So that was the way we started off the new year. And we set up that we're in our basement now to be a set in a Whatnot live streams room. So we can do, so this is like our Whatnot live stream set, but we are going to use it for the grave robbing for morons stuff. And then now that brings us to here, where we are at right now, currently speaking with our mouths.
But during that time, we had a lot of time to really think about what we want to do with the channel and our careers going forward.
Yes.
And we love doing the bazaar. It's definitely something we're still passionate about. We still intend to finish the good grave robbing for morons episode. But, we also have other things we want to do besides that.
Yeah, I will say that, even as much as I went through the year, even though it was a fuster cluck,
uphill battle for sure.
Yes. I don't want the impression that we're just like whining or complaining. We had a lot of shit happen, but it wasn't all bad because it kind of put us in this mindset of like, especially the car accident,
right?
Of just like,
life is short.
Yeah, life is short. Like, generally, you hear that a lot, but it really is. It can be over in a second. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we pursuing? Stuff. So if you guys are in it with us, we want to go full time as much as we can on this channel, but more than even the bazaar, which again, we are going to finish grave robbing for morons. That's the plan. Again, life was just a season for everyone, which I'm sure a lot of you can relate, of just intentions to do things and then life getting in the way. But now seems like we're in a good place. So if you guys are get ready to partner with us, please, go to our Patreon. I don't usually ask for that type of thing, but it'll help us a lot to create new productions. But all that to say, we are going to, starting from this moment, change the name of the channel to the Reyna Bros.
And the Bazaar's not going anywhere.
Yes.
It's still going to be on there. We're still going to have a new episodes when we can.
Yes, exactly. We are going to have new episodes. We're going to do that. But we're going to do a lot more than just the Bazaar. Because again, like after the car accident, after that, you know, you get rid of the semantics of things where you're just like, oh, well, maybe if I made this video, maybe it should be on a different channel. Or maybe if I did this, it's like, why? People, y'all like what we make. We like what we make. So why not just put it here? So we want to do more like videos as well, like videos that are like editorials, analyzing movies we've just seen, our thoughts on current things in film, you know, lots of different stuff like along those, maybe some filmmaking tutorials and stuff. But biggest of all, besides that and the Bazaar, we are going to be starting to do our full short films, but they're more than just that. They are going to be the beginning of our main goal, besides making movies and stuff in the future, is to make our own version of our own love letter to like the Twilight Zone, which we have so many during all last year when we couldn't film and we couldn't edit and we couldn't create. We spent a lot of time writing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just we kept getting all these ideas for these different sort of short films, and we had enough of them that we were like, we could do a whole series of these as part of like an anthology. And so we started writing some. We actually started shooting some of them already.
Yeah.
At least 2 of them, because it's going to definitely take a lot to make more of these. But we know we got to start somewhere. So we figured to start with the easiest ones first and then just build from there. And trust me, we have a lot of stories on to choose from.
We've loved the Twilight Zone since we were kids. I mean, you loved it more since when we were kids, and I was scared of it, but I still was intrigued by it. And then it, like, we've wanted to do stuff, and all of our stories were like that. It's only in this past year, because of all of the stuff that happened, that we were like, oh, maybe we could actually make it. Our working title for it is the series will be called Out of Nowhere. But we really want to start doing those. We'll do behind the scenes video, bring you guys on the journey and stuff. And again, have all those other videos on the side. The Bazaar's not going anywhere. We still want to do Bazaar stuff, simplify things so that you guys get it more often. But yeah, that is our goal, is to start making those and then see where it goes from there. Could lead to full movies, stuff like what David F. Sandberg had happened with him, you know.
You never know. You don't ever know unless you try.
Yeah, so
that's my philosophy.
I mean,
for everything.
I would love to make horror films of Blumhouse. Like, that would be crazy good. That's kind of our main update of what's been going on.
Yeah, it's been quite a journey. A lot of challenges in that journey.
Yeah.
And also a lot of rewards during that time as well.
Yes, and we met some wonderful people that are going to be helping us on the films. We have wonderful friends that we've made. And so, but very soon, we will probably have it done first before grave robbing. But we will probably have our first short film out fairly soon. Thank you guys for sticking with us. And again, sorry we were again silent. Like, one, I just don't like social media in general. I don't update my personal social media that much.
Yes.
But like, you know, it's just been a lot, and it's been a lot to handle. So the last thing on your mind is like, hey, let me put out a camera and film myself. Right. That's kind of the last
Some people can do that. I don't know how they do.
Yeah, like the last thing on my mind is like, hey, I'm going through all these problems and this trauma and these terrible things that are happening. Let's put on the camera and film ourselves and make a video. Let's make some content.
Let's film myself crying on TikTok.
But let's do it now. We'll get the views. But so I'm pretty sure a lot of you understand. But we genuinely work really fast. This is just all the stuff that's got in the way. We literally could not open the Grave Robbing for Morons project for a year. That tells you something. Bazaar's not going anywhere, but we're changing the name of the channel to the Reyna Brothers starting now. So thank you for joining us on this. I will change the Patreon and stuff later. It'll still say the Bazaar, because I don't know how that works. But please, like, again, we never really ask for anything from our audience. We never ask for stuff, but like, if you can even give like $1, you know, to Patreon to keep us not just going, but with all these new endeavors, and we spend the money wisely. It helps us, you know, just live. But then it helps us buy props. It helps us buy costumes. It helps us feed our cast or crew that we're going to start having in some of these short films. And so, like, that would help us immensely. If you guys are interested in goth clothing and stuff like that, we do a Whatnot stream multiple times a week where we sell goth clothing. And it's not just goth. There's, like, you know, alternative grunge, 90s metal,
Whimsical.
cyberpunk. Yeah, so if you have a whatnot, or you should make a whatnot, follow us on Moth Bros Goth Clothes. You can also find us on Instagram as well. But we have a fun time when you're on this set. I wear a crazy outfit like I am right now. Maddie dresses normal. Well, that's not normal. That's cool. And then we do a lot of fun stuff. We do giveaways. We sell fun clothes. We talk about horror movies. It's a fun time. So I would definitely recommend to join us for it. And you get to buy some clothes, and it funds us. But thank you guys for being understanding and stuff. Please leave comments. It helps us a lot. That we're excited to hear from you. Even not posting, our subscribers keep going up. Our views keep going up, which is crazy. But again, we will have new stuff soon. The Bazaar's not going anywhere. We're actually going to be doing a lot more now that life is not a Fuster Club. So,
sounds like a name of a cool chicken restaurant.
Honestly, yeah. Ooh, chicken.
Much. Thank you for all your support.
Yes.
This time, it's definitely been a journey, and we're extremely grateful to our viewers and our Patreons and those who supported us in pursuing these dreams of ours.
And thank you guys so much as well. And thank you for sticking by us. It really means a lot to us. So, all right. Well, have a good rest of y'all's day. Thank you guys. Bye.
Hasta la muerte.